Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Fiona Robertson and I am the Body Renewer and I am the Body Whisperer. And today, as the little title goes on my live stream here, it's all about craving. So what is it that you're craving that you can have interpreted as a message from your soul? Let me explain. I've been doing quite a lot of posting about cravings just recently. Because my wild cravings were a message to me from my soul. So let me explain. I've got, thank you very much, Lucy. Hi, how are you? I wanted to let you know how your soul talks to you, and this is all about what I do. So I try and help you understand how your soul is communicating with you. She's not going to tell you words and write things down for you and make things very clear. She talks to you in your cravings, and for a lot of people we talk about food cravings. Now what I've done is I've done 3 little posts last week on my group, which is all about explaining what kind of cravings you've got. There are 3 different kinds of cravings, so I'm going to hopefully go into that a little bit today. If not, you can read the full post on my group site, which is called The Body Whisperer and the Ultimate Body Connection, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm asking you to get really in touch with what your body's telling you so that you can understand and you can hear the messages from your soul, and she's talking to you through your cravings. So I am a body whisperer, an intuitive body whisperer, so I help you understand what's going on in your body at a soul level. So the 3 cravings that I've identified that help you kind of understand what kind of craving that you've got. So often we get a craving and it's so hypnotic. It actually grabs you and makes you think non-stop about something in particular, and your body just won't let that go until you actually go and do it. Now craving is something really kind of wild and furious, and it comes from the inside. That's why we say it's a message from the soul. So if you're a human on this planet, then you will have, I'm sure, experienced a craving. Now, I often talk about food because about what we're talking about is the body, and what we're using often is food as an alternative and a substitute for things that we haven't really fulfilled ourselves with in other ways. And often we're looking for food to fill us up, and that's why we often get cravings. Now, one of the main kinds of cravings that I've discovered that I'm going to explain to you today's the first one is a supportive craving. Now, a supportive craving feels very different to the other 2 types of cravings, which can be like an emotional craving or an unfulfilled craving, and then also not an associative craving, but I'll explain those in a minute. So a supportive craving is something that supports you. Now, the best way I can explain this is like letting you know what happened for me. So in a story, now, well, I go through phases, and you do too, where you're actually really, you can't help it. You don't know what's calling you, but your body's actually asking for something. Now, I remember going through a phase and my body was just so attracted to seaweed. And it just wanted to have it on salads, it wanted to have it meshed with avocado, seaweed, nori rolls, sushi, that kind of thing. It was just like the smell was so fulfilling and the taste was so fulfilling. So that's supportive. Your body's actually saying to you, God, this is just gonna really hit all the spots, and it's going to give you those tissue salts, and it's going to give you whatever's missing on a vitamin and mineral basis, and that's a very supportive craving. You can actually say that a lot of the cravings are supportive because they're giving you what your body ultimately wants. Another craving I can sometimes have, and it doesn't happen very often, but ladies, you'll know sometimes at certain times of the month you're really craving chocolate, and you've got absolutely nothing you can do about it. You have to eat that chocolate. Now I can say to you, oh, should be raw chocolate, should be this, should be that, should be the other, but you will take whatever's at hand. And I can explain to you all the scientific facts that raw chocolate's got all the raw minerals in it and it's doing you fantastic good. But your body's craving it for many other different reasons as well. So a supportive craving will be that there is something in that chocolate that she's really called you to eat. Now, I've been a raw vegan and I've been a detox diva, and I've been very limiting with some of my foods. And sometimes you'll get a craving for a food even though you're not allowing yourself to eat that particular kind of food. You get yourself a craving for that type of food, and you're refusing it, and you're refusing it, and you're refusing that calling because you don't eat it. Mentally, you're telling yourself, this food is not for me. I am not going to eat this food. For me, it was boiled eggs and toasty soldiers, for example. That's one of my favourite stories of telling. Every Saturday morning, in a period of my life, I was craving this particular breakfast. What was it? And I was like, nope, I don't eat eggs. I don't eat bread in that respect. I just don't eat it. So I refused it. I avoided it. I dismissed it for several weeks in a row. And then I decided, well, what the hell? I wonder. My body's so strongly wanting this, the smell, the taste. It could really, you could feel it kind of giving you all the sensations that you could have when you were eating this particular food. So I decided, right, okay, body, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to make this boiled eggs and toasty soldiers and dip them in and do the whole thing. So I did that, sat at the table, laid the table, did that. And lo and behold, my body was transported. My mind and my body, all my senses were transported to sitting at a table as a youngster with my family, boiled eggs and toasty soldiers. The whole feeling in my body was that I belonged. I felt safe, I felt supported, and a lot of other feelings came up for me at that time as well, and I was like, wow, okay, I certainly haven't been feeling that for a while. So my body was showing me, my soul was showing me, this was what I was missing. This was something that would be really, really beneficial to me to start putting into my life, because I was feeling really depleted on those levels. I was not feeling supported. I was not feeling nourished in that kind of way. Nourishment isn't just to do with the food that you eat. Nourishment is to do with how you nourish yourself. You can't guarantee that you're going to get nourished from other people. And this was my experience of coming back to feeling, and I'm all about feelings. You have to know that if you're listening to me and watching me, then I'm all about the feeling is the thing that drives you. So I was coming back to the feeling of what it felt like to be nourished, supported, and to feel safe. So this is something completely different on a craving scale that sometimes we always think about cravings as being bad things, but cravings can be very, well, they're intuitive messages from your soul about the things that you really, really need to be putting in to help you feel fulfilled. So we've got supportive cravings, like my story to do with the seaweed. We have associative, and which brings up the emotional kind of cravings as well, which is the story about boiled eggs and toasty soldiers. There's an awful lot going on. Perhaps you can also go into a supermarket, or you can catch the smell of something, and you'll just really, really need to experience that and have the experience of it. And that can be, you know, there may be something in a sausage roll or a croissant or something that you have no idea, no flipping fathoming, you can't fathom it out in your brain as to what it is that you need, but your body knows. Your body knows. She's telling you all the time. It could be a particular tissue salt. It could be a particular anything that you're particularly lacking. Your body is a working miracle. She's flipping fantastic. The amount of the cells change in your eyes every single day. Your heart is pumping. Your lungs are pumping. The blood is flowing through your body. She doesn't need you to look inside and tell you exactly what she needs to do. She's automatic. She's in the flow. She knows exactly what she's doing. And the cravings that you get are her talking to you and showing you, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I need this. And when we're throwing those cravings away, it's kind of disrespect in a way, or if we're not understanding what the craving is, it's disrespectful to the way your body is communicating with you. Yeah, you've heard me talk about this before. I marry the brain, the way that we've been educated and our social life these days works and operates is all mentally based. Our education system, our work, everything else, all mentally based. Very intelligent centre, our consciousness, our awareness, but we have huge amounts of consciousness, awareness in our bodies. Every single cell and fibre in our body is talking to us all the time. They're like the tips of a wing, and they can just tell you the different air current. They can pick up atmospheres in a room. Your gut has enormous amounts of potential of being able to feed back to you whether something's right or wrong for you. I did a 3-day challenge just recently, and it was all about how you can start tuning into your body so that you can get her very basic yes and no responses for you. Some people do it as a sway test. Some people can actually feel the sensations in their body as your body goes yes and no. And it's a directive. It can actually direct you to people that would be best to work with, people who would be great to have as partners. It's all feeling based. And what I'm trying to do is get you to understand how you feel yourself in your body, and so that you can work with your body in every single day situations. It's a huge subject, and it's not a subject that very many people are talking about, but it seems to be that this is what I'm here to talk about. So this week I've been very big on talking to you about cravings. How else can we describe cravings? There's something that you need for nourishment, that you're lacking. The way I talk is your body and soul will tell you what she needs the most, what she wants the most, what she desires the most, and what she's lacking the most. So you can often get a craving from a lack of something. But what I'm going to talk to you about next is nothing to do with seaweed or boiled eggs or food as such. Sometimes what you're lacking is one of your key values. For example, one of my key values I've known for the last 5-6 years is adventure. Now, when I'm not getting adventure and I'm low and lacking on adventure, my whole body gets very irritated and scratchy and wants to be outside, and she pushes and pulls me until I do something. And sometimes I'm really missing the whole point. I just get irritated. But she's really craving this on the edge kind of lifestyle that I would really like to experience, the full gambit of all the experiences that I could possibly experience. And you and I, we've put ourselves into this kind of cage, into this bubble, into this very safe environment where we're not allowing ourselves to experience the full experiences that are possible for us. Hi, Celine. Our bodies are telling us by the cravings that we're getting how that needs to work for us. I know that if I've been really scratchy and irritated and it's been a long time since I've done any kind of crazy adventure, my main way of having crazy adventure is going for a horse ride. It's dangerous, it's thrilling, adrenaline is rushing through my body, and I'm able to let go of all the kind of angst and stress and things in my body because it's absolutely exhilarating. That's the way I work. You have to know how you work. You are going to be working in a different kind of way. So as much as I was trying to keep my relationship together several years ago and be zen and do yoga and work hard and earn the money, my body was absolutely screaming for adventure, and I wasn't allowing my body to have it. We need to be able to know what those signs are in our body, because if we don't, we're going to be taking things that we see as thrilling, but they're not. They can be more damaging to our body. We're going to drink more alcohol. We're going to eat more food. We're going to do do stupid things, like people will have affairs and all sorts of things because their body is screaming and they're not really understanding what their body is talking about. Now, if anybody's got any questions, please post them up, because I could talk about this for a long time. Understanding your cravings, understanding what your body is asking you for, and that can be through a supportive craving. So she's going to be asking you for certain types of foods, and you'll be attracted to them, hugely attracted to them. And it can be through your emotional needs and the associative. So you can have feelings that rise up because of something that your body is allowing you to crave. So for me, it was being transported back to when I felt supported and safe, and having that particular food brought me back there. Some people talk about that with aromatherapy oils. There's a particular scent that transports them back. We have that with music as well. Music really transports us back. If you ask your body, here's a good one. If you ask your body, for example, I do this, what do I really want to eat? I can make dinner for everybody else and it doesn't thrill me at all. But when I ask my body, what do you want to eat? I get a completely different sensation rather than just, ooh, what have I got available? Let's just make that. And it's boring. No. You can also ask your body, what kind of music do I want to hear today? You know yourself, there's such a wide variety of music out there. You can easily kind of go, oh, what do I want to listen today? What kind of upbeat or low beat or slow or funky or rock? There's so many different experiences for us to have. And there's so many different colours for us to wear. And there's so many different types of friends to have and experiences to have. We're limiting ourselves. And what I'm asking you to do is open yourself up by listening to your body. And one way that you need to know that your body is already communicating with you is via your cravings. And it communicates more and more and more. The more you listen to her, the more she speaks to you. And she just lets you know what feels good and what doesn't feel good. So if you ask yourself, I've been invited to this party, does it feel good for me to go? And when you're secure and you're feeling in your body, you'll know whether that's a good idea for you to go or not, or whether you go, oh, no, absolutely no way, it's not something I want to go and experience at all. Fine, and listen and trust your body, because she'll bring up another invitation for you instead. There's always something better to be done. There's always something better to be experienced. And you're just going to have to go through all your different experiences, allow yourself to see how they vibrate, how they work with your body, and that's exactly the same as food. The reason people talk about cravings is because they relate it to food, and they relate it to bad food. They go, why am I craving crisps? I know years ago why I was craving crisps and why I couldn't get enough of crisps. And it was a fatty food that I really, really needed at the time. I hadn't cleared out all the old emotions and undigested things that I would love to have said at the time. I held that. I was like, no, I'll deal with that later. I dismissed it, and they were still held in my body. And the crisps were a way of me thinking, I deserve more, I deserve a treat. And that was my craving at the time. It wasn't until years later that I actually really began to ask my body and say, what is this all about? Why am I craving this particular food type? What is it that it's giving me? And it's questioning and questioning and questioning, and just getting to know your body on a new level. That's what I'm all about. That's what I love to do. I love to give people readings so that they can just begin to understand what's going on for them in their body, and understand what a huge amount of, vast amount of information is available to you through your body. If we keep trying to analyse and do that diet because they said it was good, or if we keep trying to do this type of job because that's the only job I think I can do, we're limiting ourselves, and there's so much more available. I'm going to post under this video again today how you can get hold of one of my 5 free 20-minute body scans that I do, just to give you an idea of what's triggering you and what's going on. I know, Lucy, you've had one. I think we had a great experience doing that. And it's what I do all the time. It just opens you up to understand what's going on in your body and what I can sense going on in your body, and let you start to understand how your body works, and then work with me further. Hopefully this is what these are all about, to let you understand that there's just a whole new way of operating in our bodies. Here's a good one for you. It's nothing to do with cravings, but like for the last 3 months I was having massive hot flushes. I mean, I think I did one of these videos and I was here with a fan, I was fanning myself, I was having such a hot flush at the time, and I had to ask my body, what are these all about? What is it that you're trying to show me with these physical symptoms, these hot flushes and things that I get? Like, couldn't stand the hair on my neck, I was just really burning up. I got the message, and I was very sure that that was exactly what my body wanted to understand. Now, for the last 2 weeks, I have had no hot flushes whatsoever. My body was just showing me that I needed to chill out, cool down, not overthink things, don't get all hot and bothered. And it came to me in a song when I was listening, when I was in the car. I was asking myself, God, I could just do without these hot flushes. Your body's talking to you all the time. The same as I've had sciatica, and it came back again, and it took 3 days to leave after having a conversation with a friend about a particular story that I was repeating. Sciatica went. It came back because I've been telling the old story. I asked my body, what's that about? And then when I understood what the lesson was, I let it go. I changed my mindset. I reprogrammed myself, and then the sciatica went. Body symptoms are there. Cravings are there as a message from your soul, just to let you know how fantastic and great you can be, and that we are limiting ourselves. So let's get down and understand what our bodies are telling us, because there's a huge untapped side of us that we've not even begun to understand. If the brain is as fantastic as it is, just think what the body can do as well. And they can work in unison, in team. And when you're listening to your body more, the mind doesn't have to overthink and strategize all the time, and you won't get so exhausted. Hey, there's huge benefits here. Let's just get this done. Look, I'm Fiona Robertson. I'm the body renewer, and I'm the body whisperer. I'm helping you find out what your body needs the most, what she wants, and what she's lacking, so that you can turn into this wise, fantastic, awesome, wild woman that's experiencing the next phase of her life full on and in full power. Let's just go and do that, because that sounds so much more fun. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.